Yeah, I like seeing some Steelers stuff. I got my stuff on for the draft. Some people got Penguin stuff on. We'll hope for the best, right? Let's talk some Steelers stuff, right? Draft was okay. It was kind of messed up how the Eagles swooped right in and sniped Mekhi Lemon. I do not particularly like the Drew Aller pick. It's given me Kenny Pickett PTSD a little bit of KP PTSD. That's going to be a thing as we watch Aller potentially develop or get cut. Now I know this is kind of like a divided pick. You know, people have feelings about this, and you know I'm on. No, I don't love it, but you know I think as Steelers fans, there's one thing that we can all agree on, that we should not have a quarterback who has broccoli hair. All right, I'm a no on that. Does that out me as being an old person because I'm not down with broccoli hair? If that is the case, I will fully accept that. This guy's gonna either have to get a haircut or just be cut for the team. It's not working. The guy with the mullet, fuck yeah, dude. That's what Pittsburgh is all about, right? You know what I mean? But speaking of being old, you know, what do you guys think of the Mike McCarthy hire? Do we like that? Yeah, exactly, man. I'm very mad about that myself. It was a very Steelers move, you know. He's got Pittsburgh roots. There's the connection with Aaron Rodgers, which hopefully is worth something, you know. But suddenly, just lately, I've been looking at the positive side, you know. At least he's not going to be a distraction, like all that Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini stuff. That's not happening with Mike McCarthy. I mean, I love me some Mike Tomlin, but we know there were rumors circulating around him. Again, we do not have to worry about that, you know. So Steelers were smart in drafting an old man who looks like the answer to whatever happened to the mascot from Bob's Big Boy. What happened is he turned into a big, literally old baby man, all right? And that is okay. You know, I mean, I'm getting older myself. You know, I cannot go out like I used to. You know, like my going out style right now is like Pittsburgh sports in the playoffs. It's either I'm not going or I'm done after one round. Too soon? No. The Penn's gonna turn it around tonight. I can't even say that with a straight face, but like I'm hoping for things from the Bucs this year. You know, this is our year. That's what they say in Dallas, right? But and Steelers, it's always possible, right? Hope for a good run. I'm also a Cavs fan, so at least I have that going on. I've been shopping for new furniture, and man, there are so many salespeople in these furniture stores. I'm trying to think of creative ways to get them to leave me alone as quickly as possible. So I think the next time I go into one, I'm going to say I'm looking for a new cuck chair. But that could backfire, you know. I mean, these people work on commission, a sale's a sale, you know, or worse, like the salesperson could be really into it, like, oh brother, you've come the right guy. Let me show you the one I have. You're gonna love it. You know, it's like I'm here to buy new furniture. I'm not here to make a new friend with shared interests. Plus, what if the salesperson's really good at their job? You know, I don't want to walk out of there with a new cuck chair. There's nothing wrong with the one I have. You know, I mean, I'm single right now, so I'm not even using it. You know, so maybe it's a case of buy the furniture for the life you want to have. You know, maybe I just need an upgrade to turn my fortunes around. Could be it. But seriously though, it does kind of bum me out to think of couples shopping for cuck chairs, because it's like, what if I never have a relationship that special again? I like rap music. I like the confidence rappers have. I wish I had that confidence. You know, a lot of my comedy is like the inverse of rap. I just talk about how bad I am at everything. You know, like if I crossed over into gangster rap, I'd rap about getting shot, but it wouldn't be in a remotely tough way. It'd just be like about how bad it hurt and how I cried. And I just generally rap about being a little bitch. But, you know, like, that sounds a little misogynistic, so I'd probably be more like, ahoy, my good fellows, many apologies for being such a petulant milksop. You know, but I do actually write legit lyrics about my life sometimes, like, so many skin tags, my butt looks like a yard sale! You know, which, that's gonna sound even better once I get with a producer and put it with a boom. You know, right now that's just a little bit of hard-hitting spoken word. You know what I mean? I bought a new bottle of mouthwash, and the label says, never tested on animals. And I thought that was good, you know? And then it kind of made me sad, because I'm like, that must mean there are these heartless mouthwash companies out there with cages full of cute little animals with minty fresh breath. And you know, I want to set them all free so they can return to the forest and hook up with other animals without worrying about bad breath. And you know, I thought it was like a pretty ethical purchase, especially for shopping at Dollar Tree. I felt good. Genetics are messed up. You know, I have my dad's skinny legs. The cremation place told me they'd give me a deal if they didn't have to burn the whole thing. And I was like, I'll do that. That was like almost half off. That stuff is expensive, you know. I'm really casual. My job is fully remote, and I don't do many fancy things. Like, this is dressed up for me. You know, like my pants have a button and a zipper. I'm wearing a belt. You know, I have my Steelers shoes on. That's like Pittsburgh dressed up. We get bonus points for that. But I'm single and I'm dating, so I have some clothing for that. You know, some nicer clothing. Like I have my first date shirt, and then I have my second date shirt. But then I will wear whatever the hell I want if I ever have to go shopping for a third date shirt. I am going to be comfortable at TJ Maxx, goddammit, or rolling in with my Kohl's cash. You know how it is. I get ghosted a lot, which sucks. You know, I have a lot more respect for a woman who will be a decent human being and take the time to send me a Randy Jackson, sorry it's a no for me dog gif. You know, like, I don't feel like that's asking a lot. You know, it doesn't take that long. It was kind of cool because somewhat recently, for the first time, a woman on a dating app recognized me from doing stand-up comedy, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I was like, nice. So, you know, if we actually go out, that I can't afford to pay for both of us. You know, that was a good start. And we didn't go out, and I don't know what's happening because I see these women's profiles, and they're, you know, they're saying they want someone funny. I'm like, hell yeah, I do stand-up comedy, but then they clarify. I just, you know, I meant someone with like actually a good career who just like happens to be funny, and I'm like, got it, good note. We go back in time, switch things up a little bit. So I've been single for over a year, and I'm still holding out hope for some true romance. But at this, she's like, no, it's not happening. It's like, but at this point, I think it has to be more like the 1993 movie with Christian Slater. You guys know that one? You know, like I think someone I know needs to hire a hooker for me, and then we'll fall in love, and some stuff will happen, a bunch of people will get killed, and then we'll end up having a kid, and we'll live on the beach in Mexico. And it'd be great, you know, a man can dream. Great movie, by the way. You guys know that one? You know, great cast, script by Quentin Tarantino, directed by the late Tony Scott. Now, Tony Scott's a cool dude, you know, I could see having a life like Tony Scott. I mean, my first name's Scott, His last name is Scott. I probably won't have all the acclaimed movie stuff, but you know, I often feel like jumping off a bridge is pretty realistic. Thank you. You know, there are so many options here in Pittsburgh, so it's like I'm glad I'm indecisive, maybe, or sometimes I'm not glad I'm indecisive. It depends how my day's been going. One of the downsides of being single for so long is that I let some of the cleaning slide at my house. You know, like when I had a girlfriend, I would regularly, clean all the dental floss splatter off my bathroom mirror. You know, now I don't do it until that thing looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. You know, I'm like, man, maybe this could be my next calling, something in the visual arts. You know, sustainable. And this bit is not this is not a humble brag about my flossing prowess. It's just gross. It's about me being a gross person. I made a really confident frozen pizza. It was confident. The box said, preheat oven to 425 and bake for 20 minutes. No time range, no 18 to 20, no 20 to 22, 20 minutes. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty cocky. You know, I had the feeling that if it turned out bad, it would just blame my oven like your typical narcissistic, deflecting, gaslighting pizza. But it was pretty good, so I was like, damn, it was right. You know, I'm all for eating food that's better for me, but eating food that's better than me is like where it's really at. It's like I hope, along with those calories, I can absorb some of that confidence. Now, pizza aside, I try to follow a pretty good diet. I just pause it a lot. Like I'm pausing it right now because Giant Eagle is running a buy two, get two free sale on Doritos. So it's paused, you know, but I felt pretty good because I was taking advantage of the deal when I was at the self-checkout. And this really old woman said, wow, how can you buy so many Doritos and still look like that? And I was like, thanks, lady, I appreciate that. But seriously, I'm gonna get down with these. Give me about a week and I'd love to hear what you think. But she wouldn't give me her number, so I guess I'll never know. You know, I mean, I'm gonna probably just go back every day until I run into her again. So fingers crossed. We'll see how that one goes. I went on a diet with my last girlfriend, and that kind of sucked. And I think one of the reasons it sucked was because I was being really strict about it, probably overly strict. But she was totally cheating. You know, like, we would eat a lot of salads, and I was being hardcore. I was doing just vegetables, no dressing. She was like the opposite. Like, thing had like a mountain of croutons, you know, like practically a bag of shredded cheese, bacon bits, everything swimming in ranch, you know, or we could eat chicken breast, you know, and I would grill it, you know, a little salt and pepper, some herbs and spices, and that was it. But she was banging another dude, and you know, and I get it because even with all the ranch and stuff, she still lost a lot of weight, looked really good. So, you know, good for her. It's about results. You know, it's about the journey. You know, sometimes doing this, I think about comedy too much. Like I had to take my dog to the vet, and I had to, for a checkup, and I had to bring in a stool sample. And the vet tech said, "Let's take a look at this piece of shit." And I thought she was doing crowd work. I was like, damn. I was like, this is a pretty early appointment. I just woke up like this, you know, and I mean, harsh but fair. And then I was like, oh, you mean the thing. And I was like, that's pretty questionable language for the workplace. But I wasn't about to make up somebody else to complain to. So, with that, and I got the lights, so that is going to be my time for tonight. Thank you very much. Let's give it up again for the